Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Build, Lead, and Convert with myself, Hannah Majette, and my business bestie, Ember Lee. We are co-founders of Speakeasy Digital and your hosts for the Masterclass series that we just got off of. So let us know that you're here and ready to rock and roll by typing your name and where you're from and what you're looking forward to learning in the chat.
Hey everyone, it is great to see you all. See everybody coming on, see some familiar names. Let's see, just make sure that we have everything that we need here. All right, awesome. So if you are excited and ready to learn the build, lead, convert process, go ahead and put yes in the chat for us, just so that we know that you're here.
And no need to be shy. We are super excited to help and support you this evening.
There we go. Russell started us off with a yes. All right, Samantha from Fort Collins, Colorado. Excited to have you all here.
I was wondering if you were going to be on live tonight. I saw that you liked my live earlier.
Hey, Samantha. Hey, everyone.
Well, we are pumped up.
All right, awesome. What time is it? Oh, we're getting
it's
close.
Just now 6, so we could give people a couple more minutes, I think, to hop on.
Yeah, guys. So this is not like any other masterclass that you've been on. This is very conversational. If you've seen me and Hannah in the group, we're very laid back. We're very, we like to kind of hang out, like make this like a hangout in our living room with friends that are asking us about marketing. And we're just giving you all some knowledge and information that we have that we know will help you. So don't be shy, get in the chat. We want this to be conversational. We're going to ask you questions throughout. Be engaging. When you participate, it helps you take the knowledge and really like take it in, right? And when you're participating with us, so make sure that you're doing that. And if you have any questions, we will take those at the end. But we're really excited to bring this training to you all. And we'll start here shortly.
Yes, we're very passionate about getting you all into action. I think, the information, I don't want to say overload, I guess overload and like paralysis by analysis, very real in entrepreneurship. And I think it's very easy to get stuck into consuming instead of doing. So we really want to get you interacting and doing. So stay tuned for more of that throughout the presentation.
All right, I am just going to post Hannah in our group and make sure everybody knows that we are live. So we are live.
And then we can get things kicked off. If you all can see my screen, my presentation, it should say build, lead, convert, and then have a picture of me and Amber. Let me know if you can see that before we dive in. And I learned that you can't see anything. That would not be helpful for you. Okay, awesome. Perfect. Okay, so let's get started. So what can you expect this evening? Well, how to grow a community of fans for free without Facebook ads, because I know there's a lot of, concerns over Facebook ads this day and age. And that's true even if you don't have a product to sell yet or a program. The category method for a highly engaged and profitable community, so you can start seeing results right away. The one tool that will set you apart from the competition, so they'll choose to buy from you over anyone else, even if you're in a super crowded niche. The fastest and easiest way to create connection and engagement online, so you can give your audience exactly what they want, personalized interaction for maximum success. So why does this work, right? Like, why does this build, lead, convert thing actually work? Or rather, you might be asking yourself, does it actually work? Yes, it does. It's what we use with our practitioners time and time again. Totally rinse and repeat. Yes, does it require some tweaking? Absolutely. There really is no, templated, this works for every single person in health and wellness. but this strategy works time and time again. And once you get it working for your business, it truly is rinse and repeat. So let's take a look. The goal was to generate quick revenue with a high profit margin that had never been offered before for this particular practitioner. She wanted to infuse some cash quickly into her business, came to us for help with that. So she had an email list of 11K. We did run traffic ads to her warm market, but only spent $500 total. So it wasn't a massive ad budget. We also sent 5 emails to her list, that 11,000 list, and she generated 65K in sales in 10 days. And that's 130x return on ad spend. So, some of you might be thinking, I don't have a big email list and, I don't want to spend a lot on ads. That's fine. I mean, even if your email list was a quarter of this size and you did a quarter of that revenue in 10 days, that would be pretty good. By the end, you will know how to build an audience, how to lead people through a buying journey, how to convert them into paying clients. So you're in the right place. This is for you if you are ready to ditch that burnout and overwhelm at the door. You're tired of the one-on-one practice model and want to move to one-to-many. And I know that is something many of you desire because you've been telling us that. And you are ready to step out of information overload and get into precise strategic action. All right, so this is not for you. If you're going to get upset after sitting through a 60-minute free training with us, and then we offer a way to work further with us at the end. No pressure. You don't want to be known widely as an expert in your area of expertise, and you don't want an additional 6-figure passive revenue stream and would rather stay overworked and overwhelmed. So in return, we just ask that you show up fully present and ready to engage and implement some of these action steps. So are you ready for the good stuff? Type yes in the chat. We're also going to be offering a bonus, the tech resource sheet, and that's really going to help you put into place this build, lead, convert system. So make sure you keep an eye out for that later on in the presentation. All right, so let's just do a little visual analogy. I love visualization. So we have an easy path, we have a hard path, and I think this is true for any area of life, quite honestly. So you have the easy path where you follow a proven system created by experts that will give you the step-by-step blueprint and support you need, or you have the hard part, right? The hard path, going at it alone, guessing what will work, spending a lot of time and energy and money spinning your wheels, right? So let's take an analogy that's completely non-business related. Let's do like health and fitness. So let's say you wanted to set the goal of running a marathon. Well, if you can only run a 5K right now, you can't just sign up for a marathon and run the marathon in 2 weeks, right? Like you have to train for it, and you need to train for it in a specific way that is going to get you into marathon running shape without injuring you, and in a way that's not going to leave you feeling defeated and frustrated. And so what could you do? You could sign up for a training on, 5K to marathon in 12 weeks. And they give you how to structure your runs so you build up your running time and your running distance in a safe way that is manageable and realistic and doable. And same with your nutrition. How are you supporting your body so you can eventually run that marathon? Well, it's the same way with business. You can't go from 0 to 100K overnight. Yes, does it happen? Yes, but it's really, honestly, it's a fluke. It doesn't happen with a strategy. So you need to do it in a strategic, thoughtful way that's going to be done in also a way that's repeatable, right? That's not just like, oh, look, I made 100K once. I don't know how I did that. How do I repeat that? You want to make sure you can rinse and repeat. All right, so now I want to invite you to do an embodiment exercise. I love this. So I think most of our participants will be open to this. It's a little woo-woo, but even if you're not, if you're thinking like, oh my goodness, what is she going to do? I invite you to just keep an open mind and do it with us. All right, so make sure you're firmly seated, comfortably in your chair. We're going to close our eyes and firmly root your feet to the ground, and envision them rooting down into the earth. like tree trunks. And then let's place one hand on our heart and our other hand on our belly with our eyes closed. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Roll our shoulders back and down. Let your jaw gently open. Relax your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Now I want you to visualize a box, cardboard box sitting next to you on the floor. I want you to visualize putting all of the things that are keeping you stuck, putting all your worries, your concerns, all the what ifs that are holding you back from realizing your dreams. Let's place all of those into the box next to you. Actually visualize them moving from your body into the box. And then just notice the sensation in your body. Is it different? How is it different? Where is it different? And now let's visualize, without those things holding you down, right? Visualize where you want to go, where you want to be. What does your ideal business look like? What does your ideal practice look like? What does your ideal day look like? How do you spend your time? Who do you spend it with? And what feeling do you have in your body? Notice the sensations. Take another deep breath in and out. And now I invite you to thoughtfully stay present in this energy of possibility throughout the rest of the training. And really let yourself marinate in that energy of possibility. And then when you're ready, let's open our eyes. Welcome back, everyone. All right, so who are we anyways? We are a small and nimble team. We are a little woo-woo. We are.
It serves well in business, guys. It really does. Okay,
really
go ahead.
Does. It really does. So we're a small, nimble team with over 20 years of digital marketing experience. And our mission is to transition 1,000 practitioners online and help heal 1 million people. Our team truly believes, and this is definitely a core belief and core value of ours, we believe that the healthcare industry is ripe for disruption, and we intend to be part of the revolution, and we hope you'll be there with us. So I'm Hannah. I have a bachelor's in marketing and a master's in public administration with a focus on public health from Cornell. I'm also a registered yoga teacher, which is where the woo-woo comes from. And I love the fulfillment and flexibility that being an entrepreneur, specifically in the health and wellness space, offers me.
And I am Amber. Hi, guys. I am a self-taught entrepreneur. I've been in the digital marketing space for about 10 years now. I've been a lead trainer in coaching programs. I actually launched my own online e-commerce store in the outdoor niche. I made $30K in sales in the first 3 weeks of opening, and then I went on to build that to $100,000 per month before selling it. That's kind of where I get a little bit of my expertise. So.
Awesome. She's a rock star. All right. So how we started. Now, you might be thinking, all right, guys, like you're experts, have experience doing this, you have training and education about it, as well as real life experience. But I'm not an expert. Well, we are here to say, yes, well, we are experts now. You can learn this too. Like you all are smart cookies, and there's no reason that you can't also learn this as well. So let's take Dr. Olivia as just a little example. She had great products in her online apothecary, but a non-existent marketing strategy to get them from her shelves to the homes of many. So We applied this 3-step process, the build, lead, convert, and she started seeing consistent sales and a 300% increase in revenue in 6 months. The breakthrough moment was when she implemented this 3-step process and created a constant flow of customers to her online apothecary, creating passive income and more time for her to focus on her family, which is what she wanted. So the benefits of this: a clear path to success, less confusion and overwhelm, more clarity. You're able to heal more people in less time, predictable passive income, and you're able to spend more time with your family, traveling, doing the things you love, whatever that, when I asked you to envision where you want to be, your ideal day, wherever that is for you. But what you need to believe deep inside your core is that it is possible for you to create a 6-figure practice online within 12 months. If COVID did anything, I think it really has opened up the possibility more so than we've ever seen before for healthcare practitioners to do a lot of healing online. So let us know in the comments, is that you? Is that something that you want to do? And how much do you want to make in the next 12 months? How much time do you want to spend working each week? And how do you want your online program to show up and impact the world? So let us know in the chat. All right, so the biggest mistakes we see, these are what we would consider the top 3. Build programs and marketing systems before you either have an audience or know what your audience wants. So that is number 1 for a reason, which we'll go into here in a little bit. Don't have a clear, defined path to purchase. So you may think this takes a lot of time and money, and it's just oftentimes a step we see skipped. Or not giving your marketing enough time to convert before moving on to the other idea. And then that really turns into well, this just won't work for me. So you want to build programs and marketing systems before you either have an audience or know what your audience wants. And so now I'll hand it over to Amber, and she will go into what's the outcome.
Yeah, sorry, guys, I was responding to you all in chat. So what's the outcome? So what happens when you don't know who your audience is or you haven't built an audience is that you have a lack of connection with your audience, right? So your program is going to flop. So it may not even be the program. A lot of times we see a lot of good offers that have been created in programs that we're like, wow, that really should have sold. But what happens is that your messaging and how you are connecting or not connecting with your audience is really playing a big factor into it. So when you don't know who your audience is, it's very, very hard to speak their language. It's very hard to connect to them. And it's hard to connect that dot from audience to buyer, right? And then also what happens is all you hear is cricket. So maybe you're not trying to sell the program yet. Maybe you've talked about it on your email list or in your Facebook group, and all you hear is crickets. Like nobody's responding to it. Nobody's contacting you in Messenger. Nobody seems to really be interested in it. And the reason is because it's your messaging. You don't know your audience and you're not speaking their language or giving them what it is that they're wanting. So why does this happen? Most of the time it's because people skip the audience research step, which is super, super, super important. It is the most mundane and boring step that we have, but it is so important. It's probably, that's why it's number 1, right? Because it is literally the most important, and it's the step that you will continue to do throughout your time online, right? As long as you have programs online, you will be doing audience research because your audience tends to evolve. So sometimes too, what happens with practitioners is they get more focused on the selling the program than identifying who will buy it and why. And honestly, this isn't just practitioners. This is just human beings in general. We get so caught up because we want to sell it so bad, not just for the money, because we know it's going to help people. Like we just know it and we want to get it into the homes of others. And we kind of get stuck on that, and we get stuck on ourselves. We've all done this, right? Put it in the chat if you've done this before. You get kind of stuck on yourself and how you're feeling, and that frustration, overwhelm comes out, instead of stepping back and focusing on our clients, and focusing on our potential customers and who we can serve. Another thing that happens is that you assume what they need is also what they want, and in marketing it's actually opposite. So you want to sell them what they want and give them what they need, because what they need, or what you think that they need, they don't know that. They just know what they want. So if you skip this audience research step, what we see a lot, you're going to end up spinning your wheels for years to come if you haven't already. Some of y'all have come here and you've already been spinning your wheels. You're going to create new programs with the same outcome. So we call that the technical term for that is insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. But we do see that a lot when it comes to marketing. And then wasted money and time. And none of us want to do that. Our energy, money, and time are the most valuable things that we have. So what to do instead? So what you want to do is you want to find out where your audience hangs out and what language they speak. This is what you're doing when you're researching. So a lot of people are like, okay, research, I understand that, but what am I researching? This is what you're actually researching. You're researching where they hang out. You're going to go find your audience, and then you're going to find out the language that they speak. And then you're going to speak like they speak in your messaging. You're going to put in their language. And then you're going to connect with them. So you're going to get through the surface and down to their deepest desires. Like, you should know this person like they are you. Like, what are their deepest desires? What is it that they're struggling with? And then, so mistake number 2 is that they don't have a clearly defined path to purchase. And the myth around this is that it takes a lot of time, money, and skill that practitioners feel like they don't have. What we see a lot is a lot of people come online and they're like, "Ooh, it's so techy. I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know if I can, if I can do this." And a lot of people get cold feet. And we're here to tell you that it is a skill that you can build, and it's really not as difficult as you think it is. We've made it very simple in our 3-step process. All right, so what happens is that your audience never, if you don't put this into practice, your audience never finds you, or you leave your audience confused, and a confused mind will leave. And what that causes you is frustration and overwhelm. So you're ready to give up, you're hitting your head against the wall, you have no clear direction to go next, or you get stuck in step 0 in information overload. So you're learning all the things, but you're never implementing them. I know all of us have been there. I have, Hannah has. So conceptually, you know everything. You know what to do, but you never put it into place, and your great ideas never come to fruition. So why does this mistake occur? And it's usually, like we said before, because practitioners think that it takes a lot of time, money, and skill that they don't have. And there are a few false beliefs, like they're not techie enough, paid advertising is the only way to compete with other experts, or it takes too much time to set up. And we're here to show you and tell you that those things are not true. So the cost of not building a marketing journey with a clear path is, what's going to happen, like we talked about in the slides before, is you're not going to have any buyers. They're going to be confused, and they're going to go away, and they're never going to make it through your marketing journey. And so what happens is you end up having to go back to the grind and go back to the one-on-one model without the ability to scale. And the reason is because when we try something new and it doesn't work, what we tend to do is go back to what we know, even if we know that it's a grind, if we know that it causes a lot of overwhelm and we're very overworked. It's what we know, so it's what we go back to. And then you're unable to help and heal more people, because at the end of the day, yes, we want to grow your business. Yes, we want to scale it. The reason that you became a practitioner in the first place is to help people, is to heal them. And we want to be able to get you into more homes to be able to do that. And when you don't have a marketing journey and people don't even come through it, or they leave it, then it causes you're not able to help them. And then you continue playing small, and you're only able to serve patients that are right in your local community, instead of being able to branch out of that by going online. So meet Dr. Grace. So Dr. Grace is one of, y'all might know Dr. Grace, she's pretty kind of well known. And she was one of our clients that we worked with. She had a 11K list, but she had a website that was riddled with broken links. Like it was, and she knows this, we've told her, it was a mess. It was very confusing to navigate. There was no clear buying journey. People didn't know where to go. Have you ever been on a website like that? Like where you get on the website, you're really excited. They have this really good ad on Facebook, or you see something on Google and you're like, yes, heck yes, that sounds like something that I want. And then you go to the website and you're like, what do I do next? Like, where do I go? What is happening here? So that was kind of what was going on with Dr. Grace's site. And so she thought it would cost a lot of money to fix. And the reality was that she was actually losing a lot more money by not fixing it, because she already had a list. She had already done her build part. Okay, she already did the build. She had an audience. She had 11K email list, and they were super engaging. They were dying to buy from her. They loved her training. They love her Facebook Lives and the things that she was giving out and what she was teaching. They just had nowhere to go after that. And so what we did is we came in and we were able to get her to invest in revamping her site, and also create a buying journey for the people on her list. So once they went from her training, we were able to build a buying journey where they were able to go to a page, learn more about what she was talking about, what she had to offer, and then able to eventually buy. And so the result was that she added multiple six figures to her business in less than 7 months. And she actually did it was 65K in 10 days. All right, so mistake number 3 is not giving your marketing enough time to convert. And a lot of times what we hear from practitioners is that this won't work for me because I've tried it all before. So what starts to happen is that you become resistant to try new things because you've tried something over and over and over again, or you've tried new things and nothing's working, and you've just gotten to the point where you're ready to give up and go back to what you know, i.e. the one-on-one model like we talked about before, or you start doing this shiny new object syndrome. So you're jumping from strategy to strategy without giving it time to work, and it leaves you frustrated and losing hope. Have any of you all been there? Have any of you all like started to build and this is kind of where you're at? Oh, Hannah's controlling the stuff, so she kind of clicked out of it. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that.
We have the non-tech girl doing the tech
we have the
tonight.
non-tech girl doing it. That's funny. All right, so what got you here in the first place? So comparing your journey with others, we see this a lot. So you're watching your peers launch a program and make 7 figures out of the gate, but what you don't realize is on the back end, they have already built an audience and authority, because they're usually in like step 3. They've done this process over and over and rinse and repeated, and you're still in step 1, just starting, but it feels like they're in step 1. You haven't seen their process. And so they get on, they make 7 figures out of the gate. And so then you try it and it doesn't work. And you think, oh no, I probably just had the wrong strategy. So then you go try to do a strategy that they're doing. And you leave yourself comparing, and then you leave yourself frustrated. And so what we want to say is it does take time to build this, but it doesn't have to take years. We've actually taken our practitioners from overwhelmed, frustrated, not sure where to go, to coming and working with us and able to get this process in place for them within just a few months. So the illusion of failure, what does it cost you? And I put illusion of failure because when you're starting something and you're not giving it enough time to work, you're not tweaking it, you're just jumping to the next strategy, or you set up a website and nobody's coming to your website, so now you're going to do Facebook groups, and now you're going to go over here and do this because someone over here in this mastermind said that we got to do Facebook groups because that's the new thing, and you're not really putting these marketing processes in place. It feels like you're failing. It's an illusion of failure, but it is really just an illusion. All it is that you just haven't put these steps in place. And so you're kind of jumping around, and your whole marketing strategy, it's not full. It's not put together. And so what it costs you is precious time and money. You're draining your business rather than filling it. Oh, can you go back one, Hannah? And then you're not serving the people who need you. So the ones who are meant to serve are still searching for the answers that you have. Because there are people who are searching for the answers that you have in your head. There are. I can promise you that. And when you're not able to create it, or you're allowing yourself to be held back because of maybe past failures, or because you're just kind of stuck and you're not sure where to go, or you're getting cold feet, you're doing a disservice to them, because they're looking for the answers that you have. So meet Dr. Ellen and Dr. Scott. So they were actually kind of suffering for this. They had a detox program they knew thousands of people could benefit from, but they were suffering from information overload. So they were in a couple of different master classes, specifically for practitioners, and they were just, it was so many strategies that they were learning, and they knew it conceptually, and they knew what to do, but they didn't know what to do, if that makes sense. So conceptually they could tell you, but actually taking the action and doing it, they just didn't know where to start. So they actually hired us to come in and create a simplified marketing machine, using our 3-step process. And we actually launched their detox program in January. It took us about 4 weeks to build out. So like I said, it doesn't take long. We teach these processes. And other people are able to do this too, build it in about 4 weeks time. And they launched their detox program in less than 4 weeks, and it generated $28,000 in revenue. Think about that. If they did once a quarter, they would add over $100K into their business, just by building these. And that was just on the launch. We actually turned these things into evergreen, so that they're working for you passively, day in and day out, while you're seeing patients. So if you stay to the end of this training, we do want to give you something. So we're going to give away the 3 components of our Wellness Wealth Toolkit. This is specifically for wellness coaches and practitioners. So it's create lead magnet titles that sell in less than 10 minutes, create stellar webinar titles in less than 10 minutes, and nurture your audience like a boss selling high ticket offers. Who is on here because they want to sell their high ticket offer? Samantha says, me.
Yes, if that is you, put me in the chat. I love it. Or just yes.
Danielle says yes.
Yes.
All right, guys.
All right, so meet our Catacorn method, the build, lead, convert system. We're going to dive into things. So if you skip any of these steps, we promise you'll be skipping your path to success, and we do not want that for you. So build, lead, convert. Just say that, over and over to yourself for a few times, and it will become like second nature, because this is going to be your business mantra. All right, step 1, build your audience. Clearly identify who your audience is: likes, dislikes, pains, desires. Are they married? Are they single? Are they divorced? Are they widowed? Do they have kids? Do they have pets? Do they like to travel? Where do they like to travel? Do they like to camp? Who are they down to the nitty gritty? Really dive into that. Find out where they're hanging out. Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it TikTok? Is it LinkedIn? Where are they? Where are you going to find them online? And then give them a home. So a place where they can hear from you regularly. Perfect example of this is an email list. So if you nail this step, your audience really will fall in love with you. You're going to build a loyal following that loves hearing from you specifically. They'll know, like, and trust you. Your audience will start to sell for you. They'll become your raving fans online, and really like your solid tribe of people. Your marketing message will flow with ease, really will not feel difficult anymore, and your leads and conversions will be at a lower cost. So let's take this as an example. And you'll see that the average cost per lead was 67 cents, which is incredibly low for social ads. The average cost per lead right now, social wide across all niches. So, there definitely is a range there, is $5 to $10. Well, we were getting leads for 67 cents. So it was costing 67 cents to get a new member, a new person on the email list. And we did that with cold traffic ads. But the reason we were able to do that is because we really did dive deep into researching the audience. And this is something that you'll be doing forever in business, honestly, because your audience evolves. Even if they're the same people, they're going to change depending on what's happening in the world as they age, right? So, the people that, like, if you, let's say you want to work with weight loss in women, so their needs when they're in their mid 30s with little kids are going to be different than when they're 50 and they want to lose weight related to hormonal fluctuations and menopause. So they're going to change over time, and also as things happen in the world, it's going to change. So for example, the pandemic obviously changed a lot of things for a lot of people, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be something as epic as a pandemic, but just as the world, marches forward, things will change. So the goal here was to grow our email list with new leads while showing a positive return within 7 days of them joining the list. So they join the list and we want to make money off of them in 7 days. Did it through cold traffic ads, talked with the low cost subscriber already. So we spent a total of about $2,100 on ads. The return on ad spend was 2.12x. So what does that mean? Every dollar spent in ads generated $2.12 in revenue. So total revenue generated from these leads within 7 days of them joining the list was almost $4,500. Let me know in the chat if this is making sense. I don't want to overwhelm you all.
Yeah, and I just want to add something, Hannah, too. So this is just one of the strategies that we use to build people's email list. We don't typically start with Facebook ads, but what we want to show you in this example is really the importance and the power of knowing who your audience is. This is how we can get Facebook ads where they're very low costing. We see a lot of people that are spending a lot of money on Facebook ads. And the reason is because they skip that audience research. They don't know who they're talking to. And so they're just throwing it at the wall. And yes, they get some people that are converting, but they could get higher if they were speaking more of the language, if they really knew who these people were and their messaging was connecting more. So that's really the difference between having to spend a lot of money on Facebook ads and having to spend little. But we want to use this as an example, but we actually don't use Facebook ads typically in the beginning when we're helping people build their email lists. There's a lot of other ways that we use that that is not paid advertising.
All right, so step 2 of 3. Lead them through the buying journey. All right, so meet them where they are and give them what they want. So like we talked about, you have to find out where they're hanging out online, right? Because it's different for different markets. If they have a problem, we can almost guarantee you that they're already looking for the solution. It could be in Facebook groups. It could be just asking questions on Instagram, following different, influencers. It could be Google searching, and you want to give them the information and the solutions that they need and want. So what you do is you give them answers in exchange for their email address, maybe Facebook Messenger access, a phone number, something, right? And you don't necessarily have to give away the farm here. You don't have to give them all of the answers, but you do want to give them something, tangible, some things that they can implement in their lives right away to start seeing some small wins, some small changes in whatever it is they're struggling with. So, we do this with a simple quiz, a landing page, or opt-in. And I just want to do a temperature check here. Who doesn't know what those things are? Just, no shame in the game here. Just type yes if you're not sure what landing page or opt-in page is. So I want to take some time to explain that to you all if that's the case.
Yeah, so just while we're looking to see if anybody puts that in the chat. So an example of this is what we did with you all tonight, where we said, hey, we're going to have a tech resource sheet for you if you show up to the to the masterclass, right? So what we give you tonight, you want to take that information that's on it, but also take a look at it and how it was created and what's on it and the type of information, because you can do the same thing with your people. You just want to put it in your niche, or, the answers or whatever your people are looking for. But that is a good example of, something that you're giving away. So what we call that is a lead magnet. And so basically you're saying, hey, I'll give you a lead magnet. We also use quizzes. We talked a lot about this on some of the interviews on the summit. Is quizzes are a really good way, especially in the health niche, to get kind of a temperature of where people are, and see if it's what they're looking for, if they're having the problem, and then also to be able to give them the answer and say, hey, you answered the questions this, and this. So it sounds like you may have this. So you see that a lot, like with weight loss, but there's so many different ways that we can use that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it's key to build that connection and stay top of mind. So even if it's like a quiz, like for example, we just did one, do you have a histamine intolerance? They answer questions. If they're a yes, we think you have histamine intolerance, then they go to an offer for the health coach to work with them to alleviate that. And remedy that. But then also, not everyone's going to take advantage of that, right? Not at least at first. So then you want to continue following up with those leads, keep on following up with people on your email list at least once a week, really connect with them and engage with them. And you'll get to know like what content they like, and then you can just double down on that.
If this is making sense, we just want to make sure that we're not losing you all. If this is making sense to you all, put yes in the chat for us. Go ahead, Hannah.
Okay, so why is this step important? Well, this is truly where the magic happens. So your audience becomes engaged, they see you as the expert, the answer to their problems, much like the patients in your office do, and your authority starts to grow. And this is where viral sensations are born. And people start paying attention. Okay, so let's take Dr. Anderson as an example. She had a decent sized list, but they were silent, no engagement, open rate was low, couldn't get them into her group. So she had a sick email list, basically. So she started following this process and really nurturing her people, like nurturing her email list back to health from the beginning. And she saw a huge difference in their responses. There's the same type of avatar, same people on her list that she had been marketing to before. And what she was selling was the same. She didn't revamp how she worked with people at all. But she created a marketing journey and also changed how she talked to them, her messaging, and it really made all the difference.
All right, guys, so now we are on step 3 of 3. So once we've built our audience, we know who our audience is, we're starting to build them, we're getting them on an email list, we're offering them something in exchange for their email, maybe even their phone number. Now we get to the good stuff. Now we're getting to where we want to convert them into buyers. And so this is really a 3-step process. So the very first thing that we need to do in order to convert someone into a buyer is we need to create an offer, right? We need something for them to buy. So we want to create our offer, and then we're going to house it somewhere online. So this is where really the essential part of taking your practice online. You may already have a signature program that you're using in your practice, which is great. Now what we want to do is we want to turn that into digital. And so what we like to do with our practitioners is we walk them through a process of when they're creating their offer and they're creating these courses, we really do it in like bite-sized chunks. We want to do small videos. This is a pro tip. If you've created a program or if you're creating one, you want to make sure that you're doing bite-sized videos, anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. Sometimes they can go a little bit longer or maybe a little bit less, but you want to give people the ability to interpret and internalize the knowledge that you're giving them, and you don't want to give them like that feeling of overwhelm. So we lay out a process of how to split up your lessons, what to teach when, those type of things when you're building out the program, because this really is important. Because once you get a buyer, guys, it is so much easier to get someone who has bought from you to buy again than it is to go out to a cold audience who's never bought for you or never seen you before and try to get them to buy. So you want to really take care of your customers and your buyers. So if you're doing a course, which is the number one, the best way that we think that we like to use, especially when you're first transitioning online. So you really want to take care of those people. And so when you create the course, you want to make sure that it is created in a way that they're going to be able to internalize it, and it's actually going to be able to help them, right? So then, and then what we want to do is we're going to house it. So this is where a lot of our practitioners are like, I don't know what to do. It's the tech stuff. I promise, guys, I am the tech person in our business. And 5 years ago, I was not techie. When I first came online, like 10 years ago, but then the first 5 years, I really didn't do a lot of tech stuff. But about 5 years ago, I literally didn't know what I was doing. And I had to dive into my business because I needed to get something going and I needed to get it going quickly. And I didn't have a lot of money to invest into that. So I started doing it on my own. And yes, it was a lot of headache, but I'm telling you, now I'm like the tech person. So if I can do it, you can do it. It's really not that hard. What we teach people is how to use programs like Thinkific and Kajabi. These are on our tech sheet for you too that we're going to give you at the end. Thinkific and Kajabi are great because they, what's great about 2021 being online is that a lot of these programs have built these drag and drop type programs. So you're not having to create anything from HTML. So it's really easy, and we like to Teachable too. Yes, Sabine, you can use Teachable as well. I like Thinkific is the number one that I use, but Teachable is great too. Yes. So you can host your programs on these like drag and drop type programs where it's easy for you to build it. So don't let the tech take over you, because I know this is the point where everybody's like, all right, I'm out. I got to put something online. I'm not doing it. So I promise you it's not as hard as you think it is. And then number two, what we want to do is we're going to spend quality time with them. So this is where we talked about in the beginning when we came on this masterclass with you all, where we said, we want you all to be engaging. We want you to interact with us. Like, we really want to make this feel like you're in a living room, you're our friends, and you're asking us about marketing, and we're telling it to you. And that's the same thing that you want to do with your audiences. You want to make them feel comfortable. And so we do this by having something like this, a masterclass. You can do a Facebook Live, you can do a webinar. If you don't like being online or being on camera, there are ways around that. All right, you could have like a slide like this. There's also ways around it if you don't want to talk. There are different things that we can do to help you with those type of things. But you want to do something quality like this and give them what they're looking for. So one of the things, the reason that we knew that the build, lead, convert masterclass would be something that you all were interested in is because we sent you all out a survey, right? And we asked you all. This is again part of us continuing to research the audience. So going back to that step number one, the build, you're like Hannah said, you're always building. So we sent that survey out and we got your answer. So we knew what it was that you all were looking for because we asked you, right? And then we created this based on what you asked, instead of assuming what you wanted and then creating something that you totally would have just left and been like, this isn't even good information. I don't even want to hear this no more, right? So again, you're always building that. And then three, we want to make the offer or the sales pitch. A lot of people don't like sales. I get it. Hannah will tell you, I am like I don't like sales. It's not that I don't like sales. I don't like sleazy sales, right? And that's the thing. We don't like that pushy type sales. When you have put step one and step two in place, the conversion part of it really flows and it happens with ease because your audience already knows, likes, and trusts you. And so the conversion almost happens naturally. And one of the things that we do as well, unless you're selling like a really high ticket program, when you put like your program online, if you have something that's like under like a couple $1,000s, then you can lead them into just buying from like a masterclass like this or whatever you decide to put up, and you have them buy. So you're doing passive income. It's passive sales. So you're not having to get on and hear all of the no's. And this is how this process just flows. And see how like when you get to the end of it, the conversion, it doesn't feel as pushy or like you're forcing something, right? It flows super naturally. All right, so this is the step where everything falls in place. So people will happily give you their credit card and they'll be eager to work with you. Yes, I know it sounds like an overpromise, but it's not. I promise you, when you put each step and you don't skip the steps within the steps and you put everything into place, you literally can rinse and repeat this. You literally will have buyers coming to you asking you if you have something coming out, something else coming out. It really works magically. And it feels like a partnership rather than a sleazy sale. Like you're leading them, you're giving them a space to come to a decision, to make their own choice. It's not it doesn't feel like you're forcing them. Like I said before, all you're doing is, because you took them through this buying process, at the end, you're just opening up a space for them to make a choice of whether you are a fit or not, or your program is a fit or not. And then you're able to focus on them and the results. And this is really the most important part, is you're not worried about sales. You're not worried about like, oh, what am I going to say? What do I need to do? Oh my gosh, because the process, you have it in this 3-step process. And so then you're able to focus on them and really focus on the results and creating the program and those type of things. And then you're able to live in your comfort zone, which is healing others. All right, so getting into ease and flow, let's take Dr. Anderson again. So it all goes hand in hand, right? So what Dr. Anderson did was understood and connected with her audience. All right. She brought them through a marketing journey that was enjoyable, it was fun, and it provided them with answers. And then also she was able to easily convert them into customers because they knew, liked, and trust her. So when you put all those things together, this is what you get. The end result was that she was able to go on to create some amazing programs with amazing results because she was in flow. She no longer felt frustrated or overwhelmed from her marketing. All right, so let's put it all together then. Let's look at what we learned. So the very first step, so we have 3 steps. The very first step is that we are going to build, all right? And in the building process, we want to learn our audience, we want to find our audience, and then we want to create an environment for them to go. So again, we definitely want to be leading everybody into an email list, but you can also do an email list in a Facebook group like what we have. You're leading people, like again, that is also part of finding where they're at and then going to them. Like we know that our audience is usually like the demographic of 35 and over. Sometimes a little bit younger, but mostly 35 and over females, and they're hanging out online. And then step 2, we want to lead. Okay, so we want to promote to them in an interactive way. And this is where we were talking about the quiz. So that's a really interactive way to get them to answer questions and kind of open up to you, right? And what's going on with them. And then you get to give them the answer. And then again, you give them the answers that they're looking for. And then you nurture that relationship. And we're going to do that by the email list. Okay, so we're going to be on they're going to be on the email list, or even in the Facebook group, how we put content in there. We do Facebook Lives. You're nurturing that relationship with them. You want to stay top of mind. And then we're going to convert. So from converting, what we're doing is we're creating an offer, because they can't buy from us if we don't have something for them to buy. Remember the story with Dr. Grace? She had this awesome list. They were so engaging. They were ready to purchase from her, but she didn't have anything for them to buy. And guys, when we created that, that was when she made that 65K. She made 65K off of a list that was just, they were sitting there and eager to buy. They've been wanting to buy from her for a while. Okay. And that's the power of building an offer. And then you continue to nurture them through a masterclass, webinar, Facebook Live, and then you want to build a sales pitch that flows and feels conversational.
All right, so we're not sure exactly why you showed up today. Maybe you're frustrated because you've been through multiple trainings and courses and you just haven't been able to put it all together, or maybe you're just struggling to find time to get all the pieces in place, juggling your bricks and mortar business, maybe a family, maybe other obligations. Maybe you're just curious about what we're going to teach you and you wanted to see if it could work for you too. So type yes in the chat if any of this is resonating with you as to what exactly made you show up this evening. Ah, great. I'm seeing some yeses. All right. So I am here to tell you that you are capable and you are deserving. And if you're still here, that means you're committed and you can get started right now. No time like the present. And remember, nothing shared is fluff. It's what we've done with numerous practitioners And it's what is working right now. And yes, we did create this masterclass in response to your survey questions, but it's not like the material in the masterclass is really anything new for us. It's what we've been doing. We just packaged it in a way that was what you were asking for. And if there's one thing to take away from today is that you can transition your practice online without spending a lot of time and money figuring it all out. So tell me this, if there was a way to have us walk you through this system, build, lead, and convert, and rinse and repeat over and over and over again for the next 12 months to allow you to generate a six-figure income online, would you take it? If yes, type it in the chat box. So a common question we do get asked after these trainings, and even within the Facebook group and via email, is it possible to go deeper with you?
So again, so you have a choice here, right? So we talked about this in the beginning with the marathon that you're training for. You know, you have a choice. You can waste time, effort, energy, and you can do it all alone, which we've seen a lot of people do. And maybe you've already been doing that. Or you can fast track your progress by jumping on a strategy call with us, which is what we're going to talk about in the next couple of slides. So right now, we just want to invite you and to work with us and to further the conversation. So if you're anything like our past clients or even our current clients, you know that transitioning your practice online is the answer to get over that being worked and overwhelmed. You know it's the way to reach more people in less time, but you're at a crossroads. So you're really at a place where it's like, if only someone could just give you the starting point, the step-by-step game plan, and then be there for support when things don't go as planned or blow up, because believe me, they will. It's just part of marketing. That's where you're at right now. So what did you answer earlier? So when Hannah was talking about the easy path or the hard path, what did you answer in your head? What path do you want to take? Because what we want to do is give you a clear path to the life and the practice that you desire and deserve, really. So we are opening our calendar for the next 72 hours, so you can schedule time to speak with us personally on how to apply this to your business. The call is free. We're not charging for the strategy call. So what we mean by this, can you go back one slide, Hannah? So what we mean by the 72 hours is over the next 3 days, you can schedule a call with us, and we're taking calls. We're going to book out next week. We're starting to take them on Tuesday. So you can schedule your call for Tuesday and for the rest of next week. But the calendar is only open for the next 72 hours. The reason is because these usually fill up pretty quickly for us. And we want to make sure, we're only given a certain amount of spots. We don't do these often because we do work with a lot of clients. And so we don't do these often, but we went through the summit with you all. We did the interviews. We've been in the group and email, and we've read the surveys, and we know that this is a need. And we know that a lot of you just want to get started. You just don't know where to start. So we thought that this would be the best way to serve you. So this strategy session is for practitioners who, more than ever, want to create time and freedom in their practice by transitioning online. However, you are missing the plan to make it happen. So if you're serious about results and you don't want to waste time figuring it all out on your own, then this one-on-one strategy session is for you. And what we'll cover is 3 pieces. So we're going to get extremely crystal clear, really crystal clear of where you want to go. Because the clearer we are here, the easier it is to create a plan to get you there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to figure out where you are right now, right? So that we know what we have to work on. And then we're going to uncover what's standing in your way, because we all have things that are holding us back, and we want to figure out what those things are so that we can remove them, so then we can work on our plan. And then once we know all of this, we are going to then we can customize a plan on the call to help you move forward. So you'll leave the call with complete clarity on your next steps and exactly what you need to do to transition your practice online and create this new revenue stream for yourself without the overwhelm and without the guessing. So even if you've done it all before and nothing has worked, if you are working long hours in your current practice, or you currently have marketing in place and just want to scale, we can help you on the strategy call. So the strategy call is designed that if you've done it all before and nothing has worked, it's designed for us to look at those things, right? Talk about what you've done and then figure out kind of where the holes were and where we can help fill those. Also, if you're working long hours in your current practice and you feel like, ugh, Amber and Hannah don't have enough time for 45 minutes, we have switched our schedules around a little bit to help you with that. We know a lot of y'all are working like that 8 to 5, so we've opened up some slots later in the evening. If you don't see those slots, I would go over there as soon as we're off the call because they are going to fill up very, very fast. We're offering it to you all first, but they will fill up fast once we put this out to our email list. So you want to make sure if nothing is on there, none of the times work for you, just ping us, just email us. You all have our email, or you can hit us up on Messenger and Facebook, and we'll try to make a time that works for you. So again, on the 45-minute strategy session, we're going to identify where you currently are and where you want to be this time next year. We're going to lay out a customized plan that will help you get from point A to point B quickly and predictably. And then we're going to give you some options on how we can be your support along the way. So is this right for me? So if you're happy where you currently are at and you've already decided that the online model is not for you, then the call is probably not a good fit because that is the number one strategy that we're using. And if you're someone who doesn't follow through or show up on time, then it's probably not for you either. We don't reschedule our calls. I think you can go to the next slide, Hannah. Okay. Yeah, so really quick, we don't reschedule our calls just because the spots fill up fast. And we want to make sure that we have people who are going to show up. Now, if you have an absolute emergency, like life or death, then we understand. So this is Spring Barnacle. Some of y'all may know her. We have worked very closely with her with several different practitioners. And this is one of the things that she said about us. She said the Speakeasy digital team are enthusiastic, engaging professionals who offer exceptional knowledge and results. I've worked with dozens of advertising and marketing agencies over the years. I've never met a team with a deeper skill set or more reliable ROI. Amber and Hannah consistently exceed expectations, and I wholeheartedly recommend them for your next project.
Hey, Amber, some people are asking for the link to schedule the call.
Yes.
Do you mind just popping that in the chat now so they have that?
Sure. Do you want to go over, you want to take the next slide and then I'll go ahead
absolutely.
and pop that in. Okay, awesome.
So this is from Dr. Ellen. We just adore her and Dr. Scott. We've talked about them a little bit on this presentation, but she said, Amber and Hannah with Speakeasy Digital have been an absolute joy to work with. Prior to working with them, I was overworked and overwhelmed with learning all the things needed to grow my practice. Now I'm beginning to monetize my expertise, grow my impact and reach while making a greater impact in the world. I can now help take care of people and get them healthier without being tied to seeing patients in the office. Patients and clients are able to buy supplements, ancillary services, and nutrition services online. Every time a sale happens, my phone makes a little cha-ching, which I love. I can't wait to put my feet up at the beach with a mojito in my hand while Hannah and Amber make sales happen on autopilot. She loves that cha-ching sound. It's so cute.
She does.
She really does. So, all right, so like Amber mentioned, we are opening the calendar up for you for the next 3 days. You're getting access to it first. We will email out this tomorrow. So if you are interested in a slot and you're here live, I would definitely encourage you to schedule now because we do truly only have limited slots available. And this really isn't like a marketing gimmick. Like we really, we're not like a corporate business. So we don't take on hundreds of people to work with at a time. So it truly is limited. All right, so join us as we partner with you to online success, and we'll be doing a happy dance with you next year.
I wish y'all were on with us so you could do the happy dance with us. I like to see other people's happy dances. Gives me ideas.
Yes, yes, we are very, I will say, like, we're incredibly ROI, return on investment driven.
Yes.
However, we like to have some fun along the way. All right, so
All right, guys.
what will you
So,
gain? Or
oh,
do you want to take over again?
I, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, what will you gain, guys? So, let's see.
I got it.
Okay, awesome. I might have put Zoom instead of our scheduler. Sorry. Okay, I think I put the right link. I just put the wrong word. So, what will you gain? So, this was Anna. This is one of the practitioners that we worked with, and she said they took my headache away. I thought transitioning one of my programs online was going to be a long, drawn out process, but Hannah and Amber made it seamless, and it didn't hurt that they made me a lot of money too. So, we want to do this for you. All right, so how to schedule the strategy session. So we put the link in the chat. So you want to click on that. Make sure that you fill out the questionnaire truthfully, guys, so we can get an idea of where you are. If you don't fill out the questionnaire or you leave anything blank, I think I have it where you're required to answer it anyways. But if you put like an NA or something like that in there, or don't really give us, we will cancel the strategy session only because it's not going to serve us or you. We like to be prepared. We only have 45 minutes with you. We want to make sure that we're giving you our best and that you're serving us, or that we're serving you, not that you're serving us. So we want to make sure that we're really doing that to the best of our ability. And so that we created that questionnaire for a reason.
Yeah,
And then,
and don't be embarrassed about anything, really. Think of us like your marketing doctors, basically. Like, we have seen and heard it all. Do not worry. We really just want to help you. And the only way we can help you is if we know where you're currently at.
yeah, it's like the same as your patients when they come in. If they're not truthful about everything, it's hard to find the diagnosis, right? And that's what we want to do. We want to diagnose your marketing strategy, or if you don't have one yet, we want to put that in place, but we need to know these things, okay? So you want to schedule a time that you can show up for, because like I said before, the slots are limited and we don't reschedule. Unless it's like life or death, then let us know, but we really don't reschedule our calls. So come to the call with pen, paper, and an open mind, and really be ready to dive in. All right, so also the links for the bonuses to your call. Why, if you have any questions, I'm going to have Hannah answer some questions while I go grab that link for you all.
Yeah, so Amber will be putting in the link for the tech sheet bonuses, as well as the three component bonuses of the Wellness Wealth Toolkit in the chat. But if you have any questions, feel free to hit us up. Any questions at all, really, about anything we talked about tonight, even if it's something we didn't talk about tonight, that's fine. We're just here to answer your questions and get you in action moving forward.
All right, guys, I'm putting this in here. Sorry. All right.
And also let us know if you found, did you find the training helpful? Was it insightful? Was it not enough information? Too much information? We're always looking for feedback.
Yeah, we're always open for that.
Yeah, just to make things better for you moving forward. There's always room for improvement.
All right, well, it looks like we don't have any questions, but if you all have them later on, we have the Facebook group. We'll be in there later looking around. So if you have any questions, make sure that you ask them on there. We are super excited to have you all come along on the call, and we're excited to do the strategy session with you all, dive in and get you all where you want to be within, the same time next year. So,
yeah,
all right,
absolutely.
Guys. Awesome. All right, and this will be recorded. Oh, no.
Yeah, no, this will be recorded. We will be emailing. You're all on our regular email list, so we'll be emailing it out tomorrow. I'll also be posting it in the group tomorrow. So anyone who watches the replay will also have an opportunity to see the information and all of that. But like I said, if you are interested in getting on a call, I would do that tonight prior to the recording going out to everyone tomorrow. Yeah, all right, sure. You are welcome. You're very welcome. Let me just make sure I got everyone's questions. Yeah, I think that does it. All right. Oh,
Yeah, thank
you
you,
are
Samantha.
welcome. We
Appreciate
love this. We live for this stuff. So
it. We do. All right, guys. Thank you. We appreciate it. Bye.
bye.